If you want an idea of how much of a troll I am, I like to tell my fiance that I don't recognize the dissolution of Czechoslovakia and that I only refer to Czechian or Slovakian things as Czechoslovakian. This is definitely not funny, but it irritates him and therefore amuses me. I'm sorry to all of the Czechs and Slovakians out there for using y'all to troll him. Well, sort of sorry. Welcome to Daily Metal, where every day a different metal album gets dissected for your sadistic listening pleasure. I'm the heavy metal lawyer, Emma, and in this show I'll talk about why the music in these albums is so good and where they fall in the history of music's most wretched genre. On August 12, 1994, Czechian death metal band Tortury blast-beated their ways into death metal history with their debut full-length album, When the Memories Are Free. Tortury was the death metal turn of a band that experimented with a few names and styles before settling on Tortury and death metal in 1991. While not the first death metal band in Czechia or the first death metal full-length album, I believe both of those honors go to DAI with their album The Advent in 1993. But frankly, that album wasn't very good, and the band didn't put out anything else after that, whereas When the Memories Are Free was the beginning of Tortury's decades-long career to the present day. They even put out a new album this year called Altars of Ignorance, which you'll hear more about in my top 25 albums of the year at the end of this year. Yeah, 30 years of playing has not dulled these guys at all. So overall, I probably consider Tortury the founders of Czech death metal, or at least one of the founders, and for that they deserve high praise indeed. Hardcore music nerds who are into death metal, aka me, will probably already know about the huge and influential Czech death scene. But for those not familiar, let me introduce you. The scene is heavily influenced by grindcore. Blast beats, rapid, palm-muted chords, squealing pinched harmonics, and deep growled vocals are the bread and butter of this scene. Legends of the scene and contemporaries of Tortury include the thrashy death metal band Malignant Tumor and the prog death metal band Vuvr. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one, Vuvr. And while I like both of those bands, again, what the scene really excels at, and what I personally love so much about it, is death grind. While Where the Memories Are Free is more of a straightforward early 90s death metal album, even it is just chock full of blast beats. Even for bands like Tortury that formed in the early 90s, the scene really hit its stride in the 2000s, with bands like Contrastic, whose debut LP has my favorite grindcore album cover of all time. Disney, please don't take down this video. I just had to show this. And bands like Mincing Fury and the guttural clamor of Queer Decay, my personal favorite Czech grindcore band. The thing I love the most about Czech death and grind is that the bands are unafraid to be weird and experimental, even as they are putting out some of the heaviest metal imaginable. Returning to Where the Memories Are Free, again, this is more straightforward death, but you can see the seeds of the future Czech death and grind scene in this album. The album, for example, has a nice little guitar harmonic interlude titled The Noble, which really helps to break up the deluge of death metal. Or check out the track Sunshine, which is probably the most death grind sounding track on the album between the blast beats and D-beat drumming. Or the subsequent combination of clean guitar and blast beats in the intro of 30s before it goes into a more Slayer-esque death metal direction. In short, if you are into death metal or grindcore and don't know about the Czech scene, you need to do yourself a favor and do a deep dive on it. And I think the best place to start is this album to give you a preview of what is to come. What is your favorite Czech death or grind band? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this video, please subscribe so you can find out what the metal album of the day is, why it is so brutal, and where it fits in the history of the genre.